Hello, my name is Riaz and welcome to a brand new episode of Sunny Talkies Film Fridays podcast. If you haven't already, please subscribe to our channel so you don't miss a single new episode in the future. In today's episode, we bring you a Flashback Friday interview featuring the late Ravi Chopra, director of the highly acclaimed
This
Baabul.
afternoon, we have the great pleasure of welcoming Mr. Ravi Chopra from BR Films. Welcome to Eastway Radio South Africa.
Thank you very much.
BR Films completes 50 years. Mr. Chopra, looking back, what are some of the highlights?
Well, the last 50 years have been really beautiful because by and large our success ratio has been pretty high. So we really had what you would say a really nice time actually, because my father made some beautiful films in this period. Along with films, we also did pretty well in television, where we put up the program called Mahabharat.
Your film Bhutan is a favorite with many of our listeners right here in South Africa. Mm-hmm. In fact, people who have not even seen an Indian film went to watch Bhutan together with their parents, young kids. How do you feel that your film was so widely accepted?
Feels great actually, because this is a script which we really loved, and something which I've been wanting to make for a very long time. My father originally wanted to make it, but unfortunately because of his ill health he couldn't do it, and so when I got the opportunity to do it, it was really nice that I was able to do it well, and that the film has touched a chord in everybody's in hearts. So it's really been a very it was a very heady experience.
When I came to India in 2000, I met with your dad, and he told me that he was actually going to make this movie at that time with Rekha and Dilip Kumar.
Yeah, that's what. Actually, it was. We were toying with a few people at that point of time.
Yeah.
But Dad was not able to make the film, and ultimately, when I got into the picture, that's the time when I talked to Amit, and I talked to Hemaji after that.
While most directors choose to make films about glitz and glamour world, your banner has always tackled socially relevant issues. Why the need to tackle such subjects?
You see, this has been thinking which my father started off with way back in '56, when he decided that when we were to make a film, we have a very strong medium in our hands, and if at the time when we are entertaining people, along with that, if we can give them some sort of a message, that makes the film more important, number one, and it makes it last longer. Plus, at the same time, it gives us an opportunity to do our bit for society. All in all, it has worked out very well for us. We enjoy making films like that, and as long as possible, we will try to keep on giving you entertainment. At the same time, we'll also try to tell you something more about you or your society.
What attracted you to the script of your new film, Baabul?
Baabul again is a very beautiful subject. In Bhutan, we talked more about a family, but it was a message to the family. Baabul is more of a message to society, and at the same time, it's a very nice emotional film with real light moments in the first half and a very emotional second half. That's what attracted me. The story really attracted me when I first heard it, and there's I've been wanting to make it ever since.
What was it like working with Mr. Adesh Srivastava?
See, Adesh and I started off in Bhutan, and as such, we have really started enjoying working with each other. I think what happens is when two people work together for a little period, you start understanding each other. You start making understanding the nuances of what each person wants.
Yeah.
So that makes it so much easier, and we really enjoyed working together. And we've come to a point where whenever I tell him this is what I want, he gives me exactly that. You see, what happened was when I was making this film, I had 5 characters in the film, and each character had his own characteristics, his own style. So rather than have one or two people, designing the dresses for all the stars, and thereby getting more of a very common look in the film, I decided to have 5 separate people who would really design for the look for each person. And that worked out beautifully, because each of my characters has a distinct look in keeping with his characterization. So when we were doing the music launch, I said, we're just going to have a music launch. We just go there and open the cassette and show it to everybody. That's really not going to do anything much for it. Why not showcase each person's look of the film? So we asked each one of the the designers to showcase their individual actors look, with the actor actually walking on it in the end. And that's how it all started.
Which of these songs are close to your heart from the movie Baabul?
For me, the title song, of course, is my all-time favorite.
Yes.
Over and above that, I love Babri Piyaki, and the other song which I really like is Bebasi.
Baabul has a massive star cast. What made you choose the actors you chose for this movie?
You see, again, we work basically on a script, and the script actually needed these kind of characters.
Yeah.
Mr. Bachchan, of course, I needed a father figure, and I think there's no better father figure in the country than Amitabh is.
Certainly.
Same thing with Hemaji. I needed today's mother, a mother who could be full of fun. I needed a son who was basically just like Salman, because a person who was always pulling his father's leg, flirting with his mother, that kind of today's kid.
Yeah.
So he was the perfect person for that. For the girl, I needed a woman who was a very good artist, and at the same time could be buoyant at one point of time, and emotional at another point of time. And again, there would be nobody better than Rani for that. And in John, of course, is a very different kind of character than what he did. I needed a more quieter person, totally in contrast with Salman.
Yeah.
And I thought John has the looks for it.
Are there any socially relevant subjects that you'd like to tackle in the future?
You see, I don't really look for a socially relevant subject. I actually look for a good subject, and then I try to put a socially relevant point in that. Because if you make a film out of life, you are going to come across one problem or the other.
Yeah.
So we actually put the problem in later, and rather than the other way around. If you're looking for just a good thing to say, and you don't worry about the subject you end up making a documentary. So it's very important that people enjoy what they're seeing, because if they enjoy what they're seeing, then they're going to enjoy the message also.
What can moviegoers expect from Baabul?
Baabul is literally what you would say a family entertainer, a film which is going to make you laugh for most of the time. It's going to make you be emotional some of the time, and when you're going to go out with a good feeling, because we're saying something which I think a lot of people believe in.
If you were to actually choose one of your father's favorite films that he's directed, which one would it be and why?
Oh, that's a tough ask. I love a lot of his films, but to my mind, Nayador or Gumrah are one of his best.
What next from BR Films banner?
We're making a comedy film called Pappu Paas Ho Gaya. That'll be directed by me.
Okay.
Then we're making another film which is called Bhutan, which is with Amit Ji and a child. This is a film. It's a story of a grandfather-grandson relationship, literally. And again, a fun film and an emotional film. And last of all, we're wanting to make another film next year called Mitti, which is a period film where we try to tell you that if you don't love your Mitti, which means your soil, then you have no right to live.
Wow.
And one more film I want to finish next year if possible. That's going to be a film which you call Pachhad, which means autumn. That's an elderly people's romance.
Wow. Any idea who you're going to cast in that one?
Amit is there definitely. I'm still working. Most probably Amit Ji and Hemaji.
Mr. Ravi Chopra, thank you so much for speaking to us on East Wave Radio. Much appreciated.
My pleasure.
Thank you so much for listening to Cine Talkies Film Fridays. Until the next episode, remember to keep safe and subscribe. Share to help us grow as well. The interview was aired on East Wave Radio, produced, recorded and edited by Riaz Safi.